Good evening and welcome to the BBC News at 6. It's a drug that's been around for 60 years. It's very cheap and it is widely available. Dexamethasone is a steroid and it's the first drug that has been shown to significantly reduce the risk of death from coronavirus. The research has been led by a team at Oxford University who say they were astounded by the results after trials on 2,000 seriously ill patients who were on oxygen or a ventilator. Scientists say that it could have saved thousands of lives in the UK alone if it had been used from the outset of the pandemic. The government's chief scientific advisor called it a groundbreaking development. Here's our medical correspondent Fergus Walsh.
For those laid low by COVID-19, for the very sickest hospital patients, at last, a drug that can tip the odds in their favour. 6,000 NHS COVID patients were part of the trial, and the results were so overwhelmingly positive they were rushed out days after the study was completed. It found that dexamethasone saves one life for every 8 patients on a ventilator, and one life saved for every 25 patients on oxygen. If it had been used from the outset of the pandemic, it's thought it could have saved 4,000 to 5,000 lives in the UK. Catherine Milbank from Buckinghamshire spent 12 days on a ventilator with COVID-19. She received dexamethasone after her husband Paul gave consent over the phone for her to take part in the trial.
When someone tells you that your wife's right hanging on the edge of something that could go either way, and you know that there's current proven drugs that are already in the medical industry already that are prescribed to people, when you know that they are around and there's a chance that might help, you grab it.
Without trying these things, we're not the researchers, us, no one's going to get anywhere in finding out the right drugs to help the pandemic that's happening and still going on. As we're coming through it, but I'm just eternally grateful and will be for the rest of my life.
Dexamethasone has been around for decades. A steroid, it's widely used for arthritis, asthma and other conditions. This is a genuine breakthrough in the treatment of COVID-19. Dexamethasone, either in tablet or injectable form, is available in every hospital pharmacy. The treatment costs around £5 on the NHS and will be even cheaper in developing countries. So this drug has the potential to save lives across the world.
We've been on a huge search for treatments that actually will improve survival for patients with COVID. This is the first drug. Not only is this the first drug that's improved survival, but it's available worldwide immediately and is affordable. That's fantastic news for patients.
The drug helps stop the immune system from overreacting to COVID. It's not a cure, but it will help more of the sickest patients to overcome this disease.
The latest figures from the Department of Health show that in the last 24-hour period, 233 more deaths linked to coronavirus were recorded after testing positive. That brings the total to just under 42,000 across the UK, which includes hospitals, care homes and the wider community. If we look at the graph of COVID-19 deaths since the middle of March, the trend now very much continues down, with the current 7-day rolling average at 155. Our medical correspondent Fergus Walsh is with me now. Tell us more about this drug, which has been around for a very long time. And crucially, the Prime Minister says if there is another wave, second peak, we have enough of it.
I think this is a huge moment and a really positive one for patients, Sophie. There's been this long search now over 6 months for a treatment. And a word of caution, it doesn't stop people from catching coronavirus. It doesn't help those with mild infection. But for the sickest patients, it brings huge potential benefits. And it's heartening that the first treatment proven to save lives is not some expensive new drug which will only be available in rich countries, but a cheap as chip steroid that's been around since the 60s. So now at last, doctors have a proven tool which can help save lives in intensive care.
Fergus Walsh, thank you. The Manchester United footballer Marcus Rashford has thanked MPs for giving families one less thing to worry